Okay, we have already discussed about how you can call smart contracts. We have discussed option of creating an NFT contract and minting NFT already in game. Now we want to take use of this NFT and do something that is like actual um, game that has any game relevance. So let's say that I have this area and I want this area to be accessible only through those NFT owners. So what I need is, well, definitely a new blueprint, which will be like a portal that only certain players can cross. And let's make it an actor. Let's call it B underscore NFT underscore portal. Okay. And we're going to add let's open it up. We don't need this. Okay, so we open that. Let's add let's add a cube. No, let's add a box. Let's add a box collision. That's what we want. And we want this box collision to have a box extend. Okay, let's just leave it at the middle. Let's make it the default root of our actor, and we just have this box. We can scale it as an actor. You can just scale the actor. We don't care. And we want this box to be a blocking volume, right? So we wanted to say just block. Oh, you know what? We want to go and do custom. We don't really to block visibility or camera. We don't really care about word static, so we can ignore that. Word dynamic objects like items, it actually should block. Pounds, definitely, this is the important part. Physics objects, yes. Vehicles, definitely. Destructible, you know what, we don't really care. Okay, so we got this query and no physics. Oh, we do want to block query and physics, not only queries. Okay, let's maybe make this like a proper door size just for convenience. So I think that here I have a gap of something like 2 meters. So let's make it 100, because this is extend, which means it's reaching both ways. So this is 2 meters. This will be like just 20 or even 10, and this will be 150, so it is 3 meters high. Okay, let's try it out. And I can put it here, drag it up. Okay, and I need another one, so I make and drag a copy of it. And now I have those two portals. They are to the ground. Not exactly. Yes. And let's bring this one down as well. Okay, so we got those two blocking portals, and as they are set right now, they should just block my character pound no matter what. Let's test it. And let's test it on single player and multiplayer. So I shouldn't be able to enter. Nope. I'm walking in place and I cannot enter. Okay. Works as intended, right? So we got those two. And now we can do checks on multiple levels. Oh, and let's also, if it works in multiplayer, it works in single player as well. Okay. So we want to do the check only on the server side. We don't really care. We don't trust client to say, oh yeah, I do own this NFT and I can cross this portal. Just, yeah, try. You can trust me. Of course you can't. So let's do it like this. Construction script. No, begin play. Let's do it on begin play. Authority. If it doesn't have authority, then set disable collision. Oh no, not this one. Actor collision. Set actor enable collision false. And if it has authority, then set actor enable collision true. And let's make this actor replicated. So let's say that he is replicated and he's not netload on client, so it's always replicated from the server. So now if I play it from the client side, I should get this rubber banding. So he is pushing me away and I cannot enter no matter what, even though client is ignoring the collision. Client is ignoring the collision because we don't really care for client side collision. It is purely cosmetic. He should get like a warning that you are approaching this site and this that you require a ticket or something. But yeah, I cannot enter no matter what. I cannot force it by being really fast. Like server will not allow it. So now on the server side, we can do something when this box registers a collision. So actor begin overlap, and I want to just print string and say if other actor is character. If we overlap with a character, we want to see this character's display name at the moment of overlap. Now, because we disable collision on client, we should only see this collision on the server, and we should see server prints only. Okay, so I guess actor overlap doesn't work because inside this box we need to go here and say generate overlap events. Oh, okay. This is not okay. Let's do it a bit differently. Maybe let's do it with hit, or maybe we need to do this on component begin overlap. The actor overlap is a bit more tricky. It requires no, other actor cast to character, and let's see if this will work now. If not, we're gonna have to use hit event. Okay, let's use hit event. So you have to go here and say simulate generates hit event on component hit, and now we can do this, and this should work. Oh yes, okay. So server understands now that we are hitting with this invisible wall, and he understands that this is happening. Okay, so we don't need those events, we got this event. Okay, so first of all, we don't want to trigger whatever event we're going to trigger. We don't want it to trigger multiple times. We want it to trigger once. So what we want to do, we want to have a variable which is Q actors, okay, and let's make it character class. So just object reference character. So if this cast to character and it works, we are checking if, oh, and this needs to be an array. Yes, change it to array, thank you. So we want to see if it contains this, and if it doesn't contain it, then we want to add unique this. If it contains, then he's just waiting in queue like everyone else. But if it is not contained, then he wants to get in queue. So now that we have this queue, we want to do something with this queue. And we want to check those actors if they have what it takes to enter, right? So we need a custom event, and we're going to say check if can enter. So check if can enter requires an input, which is a character, which is just a character reference. Okay, so we want to check if this guy can enter. So this is a character. Character has a controller, and controller has player state. So pound get player state, we can get it directly. We can get address from our interface that we created previously, and this is verified address that this client has. Okay, so we got this address, and we can now promote it to a variable, and we can say checking address. Okay, so now we have this address, and we want to just check if he has an NFT. So what I can do is I can again just go into UI, I can go into our NFT minter, and inside here I have this value, which means that I am already doing this check. So I am already doing this, setting the address, and then I'm doing this, it call, if successful, then decode, then get number, and that's everything. Okay, so I'll just copy that, paste it here, and we'll go over it again so we understand what we are doing and why. Okay, so we need also a begin play, which we already have, and we need to create an encoded ABI parse object like here, and we need to store it, and we need to also have blockchain configuration like here. So this is happening only on authority. We don't care about it on client side. We care about it on authority level, so here. Once we have it, we just store it, we create variable, compile, and and we have no errors really. Okay, so we are getting this address that we are checking, and now we need this address to be inserted here and coded in the ABI, which say we want to say balance off for this contract ABI for this checking address. Now if this works out, we get an argument that we can push forward immediately, and we have checking address instead of user address, and contract address that we must create as a variable, and we are going to copy it over. So this is our contract address, paste it here. Okay. From to this URL, this data, we're checking in, you know what, this is more important, this is in latest, not pending, because we want to be sure that this NFT mint was successful. So only verified, and then we get response data. We parse this data to decode it with our contract ABI that we created previously. And when this is successful, we get a value of what is his balance, so how many NFTs he have. So if this is greater than 0, that means he has NFT, which is a ticket to enter this zone. And we want to say that it was successful, whatever we did here. So we want to also store this reference and promote to variable, currently checking character. Okay. And we want to take player state from him. Okay, now that we have this guy, like you see, all of those are async functions, so they can take time to execute. So I don't want this input to invalidate, so I have to store it here locally. And we're not going to do this in parallel. We're going to actually do it once, and once we finish execution, then we're going to execute the next one. So once this is completed, I have that currently checking character. I want to do something, and like here, this is success has NFT. Yeah, and this is failure. So nope, try again later. So we can, for example, notify him that, yeah, you don't have this NFT, please buy it, or something like that. We can put him into a notification why he can't enter. But we're not going to do it in this tutorial because I'm just showing how to not make a game but make this specific mechanic. And for this specific mechanic, we only need to there should be something like ignore actors when moving. Yeah, we can get the capsule component, which is the moving component, the important part. And we can say ignore actor, this actor, and you should start to ignore me from now on. Also, we can get this actor and we can... Oh, this is going to be good. Okay, we can get this actor and we can say add tag or... okay, get tags. So this is actor tags. And we just add a tag. Can we just add tag? There's any direct tag? Actor has tag we can do, but we can't apply tags and remove them. Okay, so we just apply a tag locally. Let's move this out of the way. Okay. And the tag we want to add is, well, for our sake, is just the contract address. So we can get contract address as string, convert it to name, add it as tag, which works for us. And this we can do on collision instead of waiting for this to happen. On hit, we can get this actor, cast it to character, and then we can say has tag. Does actor has tag? The tag is contract address parsed as a name. So we can do it a bit differently. So if he has tag and we did get a hit, which means that we still have collision with him, please make sure that this character capsule component ignores us. And if it's not, then add him to queue to the queue and just wait. Okay, so collapse nodes add to okay, and this is just the same, so I don't need it twice. Okay. And I like to have execution on the top. So this is false, this is true. Okay, hashtag. Okay, this should work. So when we collide with a character, we check if he has this tag. If he doesn't, if he does, then add him to collision, and this will not trigger again because we are already ignoring this collision at all. However, if it doesn't, that means that we need to do a check for him, and he is getting uniquely added to this list. So now we need to iterate on this list. So this is whoops, okay. Mark for ignore. Okay. And now we need to call this on the list. So let's say that on tick we want to get our list, see if its length is greater than 0. So if length is greater than 0, you know what? No, we're not going to make it on tick. We're going to make it on begin play as everywhere. And let's collapse node init blockchain and then do this. And let's do a sequence here. So first do this and then do that. So if our list, no, we'll just need a timer here. Okay, set timer by event. And we want to promote the variable and say line timer. And let's say that we want to check every 1 second after we finished through the loop. So here we do custom event check line, and in check line we are checking if there is anyone in the line. If it's not, then we don't do anything. If the length is above this, then we get this guy and we get first guy, and we just check this guy. So check if can enter. So when we check if he can enter and we finished here, we need to also remove it from the line because he's not part of the line now. So remove item, currently checking character. So we need to remove him. Okay. Okay. So he doesn't get checked again for no reason whatsoever. And let's do some debug strings. Okay. So print string, append starting to check, and what we need is his display name. And this is before we enter checking. And while this check is ongoing, we actually want to pause the timer. So we have this timer, and we want to pause the timer. I want to unpause the timer at someplace else. So we want to unpause the timer if anything goes wrong, basically. So we want to unpause the timer if this goes wrong, and we want to unpause the timer if this goes wrong, and we want to unpause the timer if this goes wrong. We also want to do a print string, which is not part of this comment. And we want to say, nope, you can't get in. You can't get in. Okay, and we want to unpause the timer by handle as well. But if it was successful, we want to also unpause the timer, but first we want to print string that welcome to the secret club. Okay. So now this is pretty much verify if owns the NFT. This entire event. This event is triggered from here. Okay. This is start check. Commit the check. Okay, so now I should check in intervals of 1 second in between of every check. So if this takes 2 seconds, I will check next one in 3 seconds. If this takes 0.5 seconds, I will check the next one in line in 1.5 seconds. So let's see if it works. I'm going to test it in multiplayer immediately and just watch the print strings. I already own the NFT, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, yeah, I own 6. So this should work. Let's see. Welcome to the secret club. I got let in. And now I am ignoring this door forever because I got marked for it. Here I hit the other invisible wall that is there. But I can enter from this wall, and here I have to do the check again. Oh, I don't have to do the check again because I marked my actor with a tag, and this tag is valid for this hit as well. So immediately as I came into contact with it, it just put me through. So now only owners of those NFT can enter and exit. I start a new session, but I do own the NFT. If I go into contact with this, I will do check once and welcome to the secret club. And I should be able to run through the other door immediately after the contact with it. Yep, here it is. So I could do this check on different events, not necessarily on collision. I could do it already here when I just approach the line and have it already done before I even approach the invisible wall. Or I could do it on a call event that I have to trigger manually as a player and request for my check, just for better performance on the server. But this is how you would use NFT to access areas inside your game. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video.